Welcome to the Scariest Things podcast, your gateway to the trends and tropes of the horror genre. This is episode 153, films number 80 through 61 of our new, improved, bigger, better top 100 list.
Woo! Yeah!
I am Liz Williams, and I'm joined by
Eric Lee.
And Mike Campbell.
and very special guest,
Ian Parker.
the guy who did all the work.
So
He watched 500 movies, guys.
Not to mince words, Liz, but I don't know that our top 100 list is bigger.
It's not bigger. It's actually smaller because we had
It might be-
101 last time.
It might be better.
Bigger in spirit.
yes.
Better.
There you go. It is bigger
Yeah,
in spirit.
yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Bigger
You're right.
in contributors and voters.
That's right. That's right.
Well, here's something actually that
Smaller
we
in number.
So we finished up. For those of you who haven't listened to it, you should go back and listen to episode 152, where we talked about numbers 100 to 81. Where we had Ian remind us how many new movies we had.
Oh boy. In total, there are 25 new movies on the list, but for that last round, we had 11 new
11?
movies.
11
And so,
movies.
if we had 11 movies, how many of the top 20 dropped off the list completely? Do we know which movies dropped off?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Oh, I do.
Let's-
We'll
What were
get,
the-
we'll get
what were
there.
the- what were the
Don't
movies-
jump ahead.
Well,
Don't
no.
jump ahead too far.
Okay, you don't want to.
We're
You don't
still
want
in
to
the-
know between.
No, we're still in the 80s.
All right.
We're still in the 80s. We'll get to the 20s at some point.
Mike's afraid that
Yeah.
Zombievers is gonna
I
is not
know,
gonna
I
is not gonna
know.
show up. We're running out of an obvious lane for Zombievers at this point. But
This is what I think was fascinating about the list we just did compared to the list we did in 2018 is there was only one film from 2018 that stayed in that general grouping from 100 to 80, and that was Zombieland, which I think dropped or went from 85 to 89,
88.
88. Yeah, so it dropped 3 spots, but it was the only one that was the same.
oh yeah, so
That's pretty crazy.
well. We know and we were told in advance that
Yeah.
there are a total of 5 of those.
There are
that-
5
that are
movies that
anchored.
kept their
Yeah.
exact same spot.
Right.
Zombieland wasn't one of them. It dropped
Oh.
3, but 5
Oh.
movies kept their exact same spot on the list.
Okay.
Oh, but actually that's right. Yeah, now
Yeah.
I'm putting things into context again,
Yeah.
Mike. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think a couple more shout outs for some of the people who contributed this time around. We had Elvar Gunnarsson
Yes.
from our friend from It Hatched was one of the contributors. So and hopefully you will have had a chance to listen to our podcast where we talked to him, and he gave you a Icelandic introduction to our show. So
And he gave us a history of Icelandic horror, which I was pretty thin on, to be totally honest.
I
And
think you would be a remarkable person to have known all of the Icelandic trivia that he was able to bestow upon us. But again, so thanks to that's just a little bit of a shout out. And I guess what we should probably get rolling.
Oh,
with our,
Yep.
oh,
let's do
okay.
it.
I thought there was more shout outs coming.
I think-
I thought I was going to get
Dive right
one.
in.
Maybe Ian was going to get it. Some more platitudes for all the work he's done.
we can
just-
throw some of our Patreon contributors, Chris Cleland.
Yes, Chris Cleland.
And
yeah.
Sharon Yablon.
Heck
also.
yeah,
So-
absolutely.
And and all of a sudden here I am, and I'm not looking at my list of the Patreon contributors.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Sharon's always got a good list.
Yeah, Sharon.
a lot
Sharon's
of
list
weird,
is awesome.
esoteric
Awesome.
Yeah,
stuff.
and actually Sharon commented to us that what she was going to do, she changed her list almost completely because she wanted to find movies that she really loved that she didn't think got enough respect.
Oh, I like
And
that.
so she
too.
she will have one of the more interesting lists.
Okay.
Out there.
Did you get a sneak?
and I
peek?
want to read Chris's.
Yeah, I was gonna. You read my mind list. Did you
Yeah.
guys get a sneak peek at his list at all?
You know what? We can do that. I just have to open.
We don't have to do it right
Yeah,
now, but I'm just asking
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
did.
Yes,
yeah.
he did.
Okay.
He leans towards some pretty hyper-violent stuff.
Oh, exciting!
So
Exciting.
so I think if you start seeing, I think Inside, I think is probably a clue. That's
On
probably
Chris's list.
Yeah.
almost certainly on Chris's list.
A little bit of the old ultra violence.
Punching
Yep.
pregnant women, that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Chris does not condone that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
No, Chris is a perfectly nice guy. He doesn't punch pregnant
Yes.
women.
Well, what do you
Come on.
guys what do you guys think of the films that have made it so far? Are you surprised?
I was surprised by pretty much everything from 89 to 80. I think I was entirely shocked by. I was entirely shocked by the fact that Zombieland is still on the list, but I was really shocked by the fact that there was, beneath the skin, under the skin, and Eraserhead, and some stuff that I think probably fits into the horror or not category. So that was the shocker for me. It was very nice to see things like The Haunting and
Yes,
Night of
very
the
much so.
Demons stay on the list, even though I didn't vote for
It wasn't
them.
Curse
It
of the
was
Demon.
Curse of the Demon. Sorry, it was very nice to see them stay.
Night of
on
the Demon
list.
might also show up.
I know, you never know.
We never know.
Yeah. All right.
Well, and getting House of the Devil and
Yes!
Inside On, those are real horror movies. So it's about
Hell
like they
yeah.
need to be on the list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mike forgot his favorite movie, his number
That's
3
right.
movie.
That's right.
If
It's
not
number
for Mike,
3.
it might
Yes.
not have made the
House
list.
of the Devil. All right.
All right. The number 80 movie. On the Scariest Things summer horror episode, Liz Williams described this movie as good, family-friendly gateway horror.
Yay! It's the Burbs.
It's The Burbs!
Really?
Wow.
1989 Joe Dante, Tom Hanks,
Yep.
Staycation.
Yeah.
Dick Miller.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always Dick Miller.
Absolutely.
Dick
Yeah.
Miller's in all of his movies.
Yeah. Although when you said Joe Dante, I was like, all right, Piranha's finally making the list.
or The Howling. I
Or
mean,
The Howling.
That's
yeah.
not family friendly.
That is not family friendly.
No, not at all.
Now,
I love the Burbs.
did the Burbs make our list previously?
No, it did not. This is new.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I guess we're keeping the sort of horror or not theme rolling.
Well, horror.
potentially.
We got horror comedy.
That's
horror comedy.
super
This is good
gateway.
It is super gateway.
And
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
you know,
right.
I think that's really important because a lot of the times when people ask us about our podcast, they ask us for movie references, and it's like, take a look at our big list. This is a gateway thing. If you're a little bit of a scaredy cat, Burbs is a nice entry point.
Yeah. Although it's
Burbs
gonna,
holds up too.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
still
funny.
so good.
it's going to be
so
difficult
funny.
for people when they read the list and they go from Hellraiser 2 to Inside to the Burbs. They're
To the
gonna-
Burbs.
Yeah, right.
They might get a little
Yeah.
lost.
And, you
They
know, it's
might
like,
get a little lost.
Don't do a double feature of Eraserhead and the Burbs.
Or maybe do. I don't know.
But watch Eraserhead first.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And then the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
All right. Number 79. If I said to you the line, "The man, he's grown old," what movie would you think I was talking about? How's
The
my
Hunger?
how's
Picture
my
of Dorian Gray.
how's my Keanu Reeves?
Oh.
This is 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh,
Dracula.
wow. Now, was this this was on the list last time?
It was not. This is
Really?
new. Francis Ford Coppola, Gary Oldman in his best beehive wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this movie would get a lot more love were it not for the presence of Keanu Reeves, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
He does not do a
Oh.
good job in this movie.
Yeah,
Gary,
no.
Gary Oldman is great in this.
Gary
Oh, he
Oldman
was.
is great.
Yeah.
He looks.
he's
yeah, he's a
amazing.
Yeah.
He's. I think the second best looking Dracula after Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee's my top.
Yeah.
And then maybe Bella.
Bella's the classic.
But Bella doesn't. He didn't have the fangs.
No.
But Bella is the classic.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had the widow's peak, though.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He set the table. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He didn't have a beehive.
Now,
No,
do you maybe attribute the Stranger Things and Winona Ryder's ascendancy
Oh.
with people's interest or maybe reemerging interest in Dracula? Is that a possibility? Eric, is that too much of a stretch? Winona Ryder, Stranger Things, Dracula,
I think
five degrees
I think
of Winona.
Keanu-
I think
Always
Dracula's Bram Stoker's Dracula stands on the back of the beautiful art direction and the direction by Coppola.
Right.
And that's really where what sets it apart. And Oldman.
Well, yeah. Well, and you know, I think the thing that's funny too is that like while he did a lot of production stuff after that, he didn't direct a whole shit ton of stuff after that.
Yeah, but he had some pretty good stuff before that.
He did have some good stuff before it,
You know, something
but
called The Godfather.
yeah,
And not bad.
no. He did a lot of great stuff, but he only did like a handful, like 4 or 5 films after that.
I think he became a producer. I think
Yeah.
unlike Spielberg, who had his love of directing just
Right.
Well, and don't forget his vineyard too.
Yeah,
That's right.
Had
That's
to
right.
dedicate some more time to getting that Coppola wine out there.
That's right.
Coppola
Yep,
wine.
That's true.
It's like, hey,
Pairs well with
Francis Ford
Dracula.
Coppola, if you want to be,
Please.
if you want to plug on the Scariest Things, just come on
Yeah.
board, baby.
Send me some wine.
Or just send us a case of wine. Either is fine.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Number 78 is a film that took Eric Lee 43 years to finally see.
Oh,
We all
is-
know what this is.
yes.
1976 Brian De Palma film
Yeah.
Carrie.
This is low on the list.
But Carrie didn't make the list the last time.
It did not. It's new to the list.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you put it on your list now that you finally saw it?
No,
Oh,
but it
okay.
was I considered it. I
yeah.
really like this movie. It's really really good. I think it's as a character study, it's about as good as you get in a horror movie.
Right.
It's got one of the classic moments.
It's
too.
got multiple classic
Everyone
moments.
knows
Yeah.
the
The
bloodbath
bucket-
at the end.
Yeah,
the bloodbath in the end, and then at the end, the hand coming out of the hand
Yeah.
coming out of the ground. I mean,
Right.
that's a big shocker, and people cribbed that for decades. With
they
the
still
sort of
do.
the reemergence of the serial killer.
Yeah,
He's
and-
dead. He's not dead.
Not dead.
But I think it's amazing that people found it shocking at that time because it was really the stunner. It is a classic horror movie ending.
Oh yeah.
And plus, but the thing I really liked about it was, the classic kind of Brian De Palma side by side shooting, like in the prom scene.
Right.
Just exquisite camera work and actually, William Catt
Yeah.
was, I thought, going into it, you go in with a working knowledge of Carrie, even though I hadn't seen it. I was like,
Right,
okay,
right.
it's on my movies that I'm ashamed not to have seen. Got that off my list now.
That's right.
Now, but I thought that William Catt was just going to be the classic jock jerk who was
Yeah.
going to see the weirdo girl and just like, stay away from me, weird girl, but he played it cool, and I thought
Yeah.
it's like, it set up the ending so well. So,
It turns out the jerks are PJ Souls and John Travolta.
Yeah.
They're the jerks.
Hey. Have to do it.
And I think the other thing that's interesting about this too is that this is probably the least Hitchcockian of all of the De Palma horror films. It
Well, I mean,
Well, and
source material, probably.
of course,
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell will often say
he
De Palma is better than Hitchcock.
he out
Hot
Hitchcock
take.
he out Hitchcock's Hitchcock.
All right. Number 77 made the Scariest Things Best Literature Adaptations list. Oh.
Okay.
What could it be?
Now, remind me.
I have a
who-
guess.
Oh, what's your guess, Liz?
My guess is Misery.
No. Okay. Wait. Okay. Good guess.
What's your guess, Eric Lee?
It was. Oh God.
I don't remember what we
Here
did
was.
on that.
It was the one.
Yeah.
It's the one where the British guys go into the woods in the mountains.
The Ritual?
The Ritual.
Oh, it's Misery.
Hey,
Liz
one
nailed
step
it.
closer to Mayor.
Oh yeah. By the way, folks, the Scariest Things host who has the most numbers of movies on the list will gain the mayor's gavel. Until
gavel,
further
like
notice.
gavel,
Scepter.
scepter, and sash.
Right.
Yeah.
I want them all.
And
I
tiara.
want 'em all. Yeah.
This did not. This also did not make the list in 2018. Somehow.
Interesting.
Wow.
Rest in peace, James Caan.
I know. I was going to say, do
Yeah.
you think it made the list because of the recent passing of James Caan?
I think we sealed the votes up before
Before
James
James
Caan
Caan.
passed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Rob Reiner directed this film. I do not think of Rob Reiner when I think of horror.
I
No,
know.
not at
It's
all.
a one-off, but
Yeah.
but boy, howdy, he did it right.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And it's another testament to if you get a good director on a Stephen King movie, you can turn some chopped liver into something pretty cool.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
we know how many Stephen King movies are in our top 100?
Ooh.
already got-
Oh,
I'll
Three, right? We've already got The Mist, Carrie, and Misery.
I'll tally
Yeah.
that up. That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
right.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that
Thank you, Stephen King. Oh, and
Gotta be.
and
oh,
Pet
wait, and Pet
Sematary.
Cemetery.
And Pet
We've already
Sematary,
got
too.
Four.
Yeah.
Wow.
and so the Mangler and Graveyard Shift. What else
Those
are we
aren't going to
missing?
make the
Oh,
list.
we'll see.
Thinner, thinner.
We'll
You could-
100% see Lawnmower Man. on
Yeah, Lawnmower Man, Thinner.
You
yeah.
guys just wait.
Maximum Overdrive.
It's all coming.
Well, maybe it. There's
There's
a
it
lot
was-
of different
Shining
things to
will
choose
be on
from.
there.
It was
I
on the
mean,
list last
geez.
time,
Yeah.
but it was the movie of the moment, and the
and
moment
it was in the 80s, the last go
I
round.
was higher than that. I think it was in the 60s.
No,
it was 80s.
it was, I will tell you, it was number 86,
Okay.
the 2017 It.
That seems. I mean, I wouldn't have complained if it stayed at around 86, but I don't think it's
No,
getting
it
any
was
higher.
good
We may
fun.
not see it.
Yeah, I might
Uh-oh.
not see it.
We're seeing Misery, but not It? I don't know about that.
I thought-
I
thought
still
the-
like the TV movie It. I mean,
Yeah.
and I loved the new It, but
Yeah.
the Tim Curry.
I think the first It one with the kids will be
Yeah.
an iconic
Yeah,
Stephen
it's
King movie. I
wonderful.
think give it time. I think it will be in fashion again to love on it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Maybe it climbed up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was one of those big risers that a lot of people still have a lot of fondness for. So
We'll see.
we'll see.
All right.
Eric's, Ian's keeping a very tight poker face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
Come on, just give me a hint.
Well, somehow, this movie also did not make the top 100 list in 2018. The number 76 movie is the 1999 career-launching film, The Sixth Sense.
Oh.
That didn't make the list before? Wow.
No,
Okay.
Now, I'll say this much. I don't think it's that good of a movie.
Oh, I think you're in the same
Ooh, hot
like
take.
Mike Campbell, same thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
I put it in. We did an episode a million years ago. I can't even recall when it was.
Have we done an overrated movie?
Overrated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put it in the most overrated horror film. I think it is the most overrated horror film of all time.
Yeah. That, I mean,
I disagree with you there. However,
Uh-huh.
I think that's it. The Sixth Sense is a one and done. Like once you have seen it and the twist is ruined,
Yeah.
you know, you're not going to be watching it over and over again.
Right. Yep.
The performances were awesome, and it was the first Shyamalan one, and
Yep.
it kind of like people did not see it coming.
Yeah.
I thought it
all.
was, and Toni
So it
Collette
really,
was great.
like blew people's minds.
Haley Joel Osment was great.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
it had a great feel. It surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, Sixth Sense is Rebecca Hall.
No,
No.
it's Toni Collette.
Honey, what is it?
Yeah,
Is
she
it?
got an Oscar nod for it.
And yet
Who
not
played
for
his
Hereditary.
wife?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Oh wait, she played the mom. That's right. His wife was Rebecca Hall.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay. So Liz is still
So,
okay. You're
Two
okay.
amazing
You're okay.
in one movie.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What a combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Let's get that back together again. Let's have
Yeah.
Toni
Oh,
Collette,
man.
Rebecca Hall.
And like kind of like a like dueling something or others.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got an act off between
Oh,
these
and
two.
I was wrong. No, sorry, it was Olivia Williams, who looks just like Rebecca Hall.
Okay.
Oh.
But
Eh,
another Oscar.
Well, she can be in the movie too.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you redo Witches of Eastwick with those three or something like that.
Well, I like that idea.
There you go. Okay.
All right.
Number 75 was number 28 in 2018.
Oh, wow.
It has dropped
Oh.
47 spots. If I had my druthers, it wouldn't be on the list at all.
Oh.
The scariest
Oh.
things, though, once debated, was this the start of the new golden age of horror?
Oh.
It made Liz's list. It made Mike's list.
Uh-oh.
It's Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. There you go.
That
That is a huge drop.
Yeah.
Huge drop.
Yeah, I had it on my list last time. I did not have it on my list this time.
Well,
Do you think that like all the found footage and then like that they've done a couple since our last list that were not good. Maybe
I think that-
soured
Yeah,
Yeah, like
that's-
the marked ones and Ghost
Yeah.
Dimension, and then the one
Next
that just
of Kin was the one they
Next
just
of
did.
Kin
1
on
and 2 were
Paramount
awesome.
Plus. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think maybe people's interest in the franchise is waning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Agreed.
Although I did just watch marked ones recently, and about 3/4 of it is pretty solid. It's pretty
Okay.
enjoyable.
I don't know, man.
Pretty enjoyable.
No wrong.
But have you seen it? Have you seen the marked ones?
No, I haven't. So, but
Okay,
I just,
so, yeah,
I've just been
slow
let down
down.
with the previous
Slow down.
2 efforts. Although the one that they did,
Saying Ghost Dimension was 4, so they did 1, 2, 3. Then they did Ghost Dimension. Then they did marked ones, and then they did the Next of Kin. And I
Next
think
of Kin.
the next one's coming out. It was supposed to come out this year. I think it's coming out
was that
next
the
year.
one with the Amish
What?
thing? The
Next of Kin was
Yeah.
kind of like that. Of
Yeah,
course, they
okay.
were an Amish.
yeah, that one just made. Why? Are you how are you going to do the stationary camera in an Amish farm community? It's like I don't want to go there.
Yep.
So, anyways,
Now,
There's a
but,
drone
but
there.
now,
Paranormal
so
activity.
Ian, you are not a fan of
No.
paranormal. Are you a fan?
Oh, I love it.
Are
You
you
like shaky cam?
Are you okay with shaky cam?
No, I in general don't like shaky cam, but I have a good excuse.
Which-
I get motion sickness.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's fair. That's totally fair.
So Blair Witch.
Blair Witch is the exception because I watched it on a really tiny screen.
Oh yeah, there
In
you
a
go.
cabin in the woods, and so it didn't give it a
Oh,
chance
but
to
in the
make
cabin
me-
in the
you
woods.
watched it in the woods?
I did.
Ooh,
Oh,
good for
brave
you.
man.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
No, that's shout out to Amy Faust, queen of the the.
She loves the shaky cam.
She loves the shaky cam stuff. So got one down.
All right. Yeah. And is that's
This will probably be
that might be
another
our
one.
first found footage film too. Oh,
Yeah?
First on the list.
Unless you count, what's that one though? Noroi, the curse
Oh,
from
right,
2005.
right.
Yeah, that's a.
I think that is. I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That is found footage.
All right. Number 74 was number 50 in 2018. It dropped 24
Okay.
spots.
Not
It
too bad.
barely made Eric Lee's list.
Ooh.
This is The Autopsy of Jane Doe from
Yeah.
2016.
Okay.
Yeah. Great
Love
film.
that.
Yet another movie that I only discovered thanks to The Scariest Things.
And I will thank Robert
too.
Zillbauer for that one. That
Me
was,
too,
yeah.
that was and what a concept.
Oh.
What
Yeah.
a concept. And the fact is like it's this pristine corpse and the surprises inside. It's like what in the what?
Yeah, that's a
And-
great one.
Oh, it was so good, and it was and it's essentially a 2-person drama.
Yeah,
Right.
a pre-succession Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Fantastic work.
Yeah,
And one location. You're only in that
and
More?
this is Troll Hunters director.
Andre
Overdahl.
Yeah.
Overdahl.
Yeah. Yeah, this I was really surprised when we did the top 100 before, and this showed up in the 50s, and I was like, I think at the time I hadn't seen or I hadn't even heard of it, and yeah, to sit back and take it in for the first time cold like that was really fun.
Yeah, because I didn't go in there with any concept of what it was other than it was like an autopsy horror thing.
I had no idea.
Wow.
I had no
Great
idea.
movie.
Yeah.
I need
Okay.
a rewatch.
So
right.
wow,
We approve. Universally, we
'cause
approve.
That was
Yeah.
24 on my list. Yeah,
That was 25 on
it
your
was 25.
list.
On my
25.
list.
All right.
Okay.
Number 73 was featured on the Scariest Things Best Horror Soundtracks of all time, way back in the day.
Oh.
Oh,
Is number 20 on Liz's list.
Oh.
Candyman.
Oh.
okay.
It's time.
Oh, is
Candyman.
it the original Candyman?
The original Candyman, 1992,
Oh,
the
I
first
thought
film
Lost
on the
Boys.
list that actually went up in ranking.
Oh.
It was 87, now it's 73.
Okay.
Oh, good on you, Candyman.
Good on you, Tony Todd.
Yeah.
I-
Now, can we maybe tie its success with the
Obviously.
the
new one.
most recent the remake of Candyman?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I think that but one of the nice things is of the reboots. I think the Candyman reboot is one of the better reboots.
And
Oh.
it ties in really, really well with
Yep.
the original. It
Yes.
acknowledges its source. It acknowledges the problematic
Yep. It
themes of its source because it was the 90s.
Yep,
And,
yep.
and actually you have a black director and a black writer, and so it's like, okay, as opposed to Clive Barker, and I forget who the director was on the original Candyman, but yeah,
either.
a couple of British white dudes.
Bernard Rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most British white names you could possibly
Yeah.
hear.
Bernard Rose.
Now, Liz, why did this make your list?
I love Candyman because I'm a, child of the 90s. This is my time. I love all these crappy movies, but Candyman is the best of the best. The 90s slowly went downhill, and I still love. But man, this movie is scary. Tony Todd is a magnificent villain, but also you root for Candyman. He's not just a villain.
Yeah,
Right.
He has some of the best texture of any of the. I think like him and Freddy. Right,
Yeah.
they're the most interesting characters, and Candyman never sort of became a caricature. He was always a folk story villain who had a tragic end, and it's a bit of a revenge thing, although Freddy is another event, but Freddy. Like Candyman didn't deserve what he got. Freddy kind of deserved what had it.
But
Had
have you seen
Freddy
have you
is,
seen
like
Candyman
child
5?
monster.
No.
Yeah. So there
No,
you go.
I mean but we're talking, the first movie and the reboot. I mean, I think you can say similar things about like Halloween and the Halloween reboot. You get you get
Candyman 2 isn't terrible. The one that was here, Farewell to the Flesh, the
Yeah.
Mardi Gras one. It's not terrible,
because
but it's
that
not
goes
good.
more into the origin of Candyman.
Yeah, the origin of
Right.
Candyman.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, respect.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Number 72 made Eric Lee's list, made Mike Campbell's list.
I was going to say feeling good about the mayor's gavel, but
Uh-oh.
I think Mike's right there with me.
This is the 1954 film The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
heck yeah.
Okay.
Now that had to have dropped quite a bit.
It
quite a
did.
ways.
It dropped 23 spots.
But it's still there.
I was gonna say
It's a 1950s horror movie, and it's still there.
Mm-hmm. That says something,
I
doesn't
love
it?
the Gillman. I think that's the best costume ever put on a human being.
I would concur. I would concur with that.
Because Rico Browning had to swim in that thing.
I know.
It's like,
I know.
Speaking of the costume, you can read my review of Mallory O'Mara's book, Lady from the Black Lagoon, and listen to our podcast interview with her all about Millicent Patrick, who made the costume.
yeah, that's a great story. That's a must listen. And I think one of the early and she totally got blackballed by the patriarchy of the film industry, and she deserves so much better. But she's also, I think she was movie star pretty too. I think Millicent Patrick was.
Right.
Yeah.
So she was able to, I think she kind of milked the system a little bit too. Fascinating story.
Yeah.
But the Beauty and the Beast kind of thing, and it was like this kind of, and it was the first sort of environmental take on, hey, maybe we shouldn't mess with this creature. It's just this is his home. And it's like, no, let's blow him up. It's like, oh, you go get it. So yeah, love Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, and that is a great book. I do encourage folks to go out and read Lady from the Black Lagoon. It's a really, really fascinating read.
Also, one of the best movie posters of all time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. All right. We concur. Okay, the list is. I feel like it was a little shaky in the '80s. It was a little shaky.
Yeah.
There was some stuff in the '90s. It was a little unsettling, but I feel like we're
coalescing
we're
around
getting
something.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'd better. I mean, we had. This is because how many we had? How many pictures that were actually nominated on the list?
Oh,
Like
boy.
500.
526. Yeah.
516.
516.
So so these are the top 100 out of 516 movies that people said were their favorites.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is the 100 best of those films.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we should
we're
be
getting
getting
That's a
some.
lot of horror movies.
It
We're
is.
getting
Wow.
there.
All right.
All right. The number 71 film
Okay.
was number 100 in 2018.
Oh, is
It
this-
jumps up 29 spots.
Is this Spooky Encounters?
No. This is
Oh.
The Changeling from 1980.
Oh, great.
Hell yeah. Great.
George C. Scott.
That's awesome. That is a big
Worthy of the jump. Worthy of the jump.
Oh, it's
Wow.
an amazing movie.
Yeah. Because last time we talked, you said that what draws you to horror movies is atmospherics.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Changeling.
atmospherics up the wazoo in this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Was that filmed in Seattle?
It was filmed in Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another. It's like Ian's got a thing for Seattle horror movies.
Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
Yeah, gloomy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a creepy big old house. But George C. Scott,
And
Academy Award winning George C. Scott.
And if you didn't think you could be scared by red rubber balls, guess again. Because there is a red rubber ball in this that will scare the crap out of you.
Yeah. Almost as bad as like a silver ball with like spikes on it.
Yeah. My only complaint with the Changeling is that it gets a little. The last act gets a pinch complicated.
All the plotting around like the senator and everything like that.
Yeah. And so unless you're paying like really close attention, a lot of that you kind of are going, wait, what's happening exactly?
I sometimes have to I will admit, sometimes I have to back check and say, am I thinking the Sentinel or thinking the Changeling?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Because those had to be contemporary. Yeah. I mean,
late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. The number 70 film in 2018 was the number 70 film. It stays right where it was.
Wow.
When this entered the list in 2018, Eric Lee said, I would prefer Ghostbusters.
Oh.
This is the 1987 film, The Monster Squad.
Wow, love for the Monster Squad. Okay, I still would prefer Ghostbusters.
I concur.
I have seen Monster Squad. It's cute. I think it's fun, and I think again some great makeup effects. I think that they did the Universal monsters, played them straight up, sort of. They're goofy. I mean, it's kind of but they used them well.
Mm-hmm.
I think
this
that
is Gateway also.
Yeah, very Gateway.
Yep.
And the cute little girl was awesome.
There's
a
It's a
document.
fun movie.
Was this on your list, Liz?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Ghostbusters because the poster for this references Ghostbusters.
Right.
It says, you know who to call when you have ghosts.
Right.
Who do you call when you have monsters?
Right.
Oh,
The
nice.
Monster
You
Squad.
call you call the Monster
Yeah,
Squad.
this was a total flop at the theaters though. This is kind of cult film. There's a whole documentary about the people who were Monster Squad fans when they were kids.
What's it? Got Nards or what is it called?
Wolfman's Got
Wolfman's
Nards.
Got Nards.
Wolfman's Got
Yeah.
Nards. Yeah.
And that's a fun documentary
It
to
is.
follow.
It is.
And it goes to the conventions, and then these guys go, "What am I doing? I'm just going around pitching this movie that people have kind of forgotten about." But they still they carry the torch for the movie, and all the more power to them. Still, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I hadn't seen this when we did the list in 2018, and I went and watched it just to be a completist and just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And I agree. I don't think I was missing anything.
Yeah.
I think this is purely a case of just total nostalgia.
Yeah, and if you were 12 years old, if you're a 10-year-old kid like Hank a couple years ago, probably would have really enjoyed something like this because it's sort of it is. Kids and their monsters.
That's right.
And apart from Dracula,
Yeah.
It's like friends with Frankie.
Right.
I love the Mummy in this thing.
Yeah.
The Mummy
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
All
Actually,
right.
Mummy and Monster Squad was
Wow.
better than the Mummy in the 1933 Mummy movie.
Well, it's hard to get worse than that one.
Yeah, it's like Boris Karloff didn't do much. He was not in the raps long enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Monster Squad did not make Liz's list, but this next movie sure did.
Oh.
In fact, it jumped up 24 spots.
Woo.
It's a film loved by everyone at this table I know. 1997's Event Horizon.
Oh no!
Wow.
People have spoken.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to
wow.
admit, fellas, the people
Movie's
have
so
spoken.
good.
They have indeed. You know what I was just saying about the
Do I
list finally
surrender?
settling? I don't think it is. I
Well,
think the
because
list.
this one's having an anniversary this year. What'd you say
25th.
it was? 97.
Yeah.
So also, there's always rumors. Okay, so that when they made this, there was a director's cut somewhere that had a lot more like crazy horror stuff, and it supposedly every so often they're like, it's coming. They found the footage. They have not ever found the footage. I think it's completely
It's
gone.
a ruse.
It's not going to happen, but it's getting a
It's a
fancy
pretty-
new Blu-ray and like a metal box and all that stuff for collectors.
It's a pretty
I'm not
violent
collecting.
movie.
Yeah, it's
to
super
begin with,
violent.
it's
And it's
like-
Sam Neill.
Right.
You
And
can't
Lawrence
say no to Sam
Fishburne.
Neill and Lawrence Fishburne.
Now-
They're little babies when you watch this movie.
Now, why is there so much love for Event Horizon and there's like no love for Toby Hooper's Life Force?
Oh, that's a good question.
I've never even seen Life Force.
It's basically the same damn thing, right?
Is
I
it
mean,
really?
Well, I feel like-
I mean, they're running into in Life Force. It's
vampires.
vampires that they come from that they meet
come
in
from outer
space. They
space.
go to another.
Yeah.
It's like you don't go where you shouldn't go, and you come
Yeah,
back with a vampire.
Yeah.
Event Horizon was a spectacular thing to look at. I mean, it was just that ship, but the ship made no fucking sense. I mean,
Right,
it's like,
right,
what are all
right.
those spikes
yeah,
doing?
but sometimes you don't need sense. I think Events Horizon then goes into like more like Sunshine. That would be your next if you
Yeah.
wanted to go.
Yeah.
Fancy.
That's straight up sci-fi. Is
Yeah.
Sunshine. Event Horizon
But
clearly a horror
people's
movie.
faces melt. Yeah, Event Horizon is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think many people would argue Sunshine horror movie or not. I think it's well, actually, the very end. You're right. The very end
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the creepy dude.
And I talked about that on something that we did. I don't remember.
But so, Liz, you attribute this jump to the 25th anniversary.
I attribute this jump to the film being really freaking good, and you guys not understanding it. But maybe
Yes.
it's on people's minds.
Yeah.
I think
because
Mike and I are in
that
the
it's-
minority.
I
Probably,
think you're in
yeah.
the minority.
Although
know.
it's like it's like I hope I don't have to end up eating my socks if Final Destination ends up on this list. That's my that has been the movie that I
guess
hate
what?
on that I hate on that movie, and
Uh-oh.
I take a lot of heat when I gave it a 1-star rating, and
Ooh, that is.
I got trolled on that one. I don't get trolled very often, but there were people who did not like a 1-star rating for their Final Destination movies.
Ooh. Maybe the better question, Eric, is which Final Destination movie didn't make the list?
Oh no!
Oh.
I'm eating socks.
Yeah.
Well, here's a new movie for the list, number 68. Also featured on the Scariest Things most overrated podcast,
Ooh.
2010's Insidious.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
now I've got qualms with you guys for this one because I love Insidious.
Wow.
It made
It
my
took me the
list.
second watch. You know what? The first time I watched it, I was like, these effects look terrible. Like the guy who like appears at the window behind the.
No, that part's good. I like
But
the Darth Maul shows up.
Yeah,
in
like
movie.
the guy who looks like Darth Maul, but I was like, it looks so crappy. But now I kind of love it.
Was this a James Wan movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
James Wan. Yeah.
Yeah, and Patrick
Wilson.
Patrick Wilson,
Wilson,
has he directed
Wilson!
Insidious 5? They just wrapped on Insidious 5, and he
Yeah.
actually directed it.
And,
True story.
and I know this is so the woman who built her career late in life, and now she's
Lynn Shay.
Lynn Shay. Thank you.
Lynn Shay. Yeah.
Yeah, that she's this movie helped give her a starring role thing that she never had as a younger actress. She now gets to lead horror movies, and not all of them are great, but I think but she is now sort of the revered go-to senior actress to plug into these kinds of things. She was great in this thing.
Now
I'm just not.
That was a fantastic scene where they're communicating and she has the hit the microphone, and she has the mask on and she's doing the drawing and the pencils start breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Ian, have you gone and watched Insidious 2, 3, 4?
I watched Insidious 2. I wish I hadn't.
Okay,
Okay.
there you go. So Insidious might be a one and done kind of
yeah.
thing, maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Insidious is a bad movie. I'm just surprised that it's this high on the list.
Yeah.
I think I have. It's not a go-to movie, but I think I have it like where you're not a big fan of Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of those movies sort of came up together.
Yeah,
and that
I think they did.
Conjuring and I think the Conjuring's the best
Oculus
of
and
them. I'll be very interested to see if
Insidious.
Conjuring ends up on the list because it wasn't on the last time.
Oh, just wait.
It's because we're now on the
Just
we're
wait.
the
That was
60s.
a major oversight on my part.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, because that's a big movie that not to make the list.
Yeah. All right.
All right. This next movie, Number 67 also made the Scariest Things most overrated list.
Wow.
Wow.
This is not the Eric and Mike episode. Jeez.
Uh-oh.
It fell 25 spots. It was number 42 in 2018. It's 1979's The Amityville Horror.
Oh, wow.
I feel like this one gets by on name alone.
I think it does, too.
Yeah.
I think it absolutely does, too. Yep. Yeah.
Well, it's less overrated, I guess, now that it fell 20-something spots. But
True.
I don't know. I think this is a classic.
It's funny too. Is there was the Lutz or the DeFeo family, the Lutz family. I can't remember which. There was I guess there was a lawsuit a couple years ago with regard to the sort of the story around Amityville, and they effectively lost it because I think they had sort of decided that. So much of this is just ubiquitous and it's kind of in the public domain effectively.
Yeah.
And so that's why in the last 10 years or so, you've seen this massive spike in Amityville films
interesting.
coming out in 2022. There's Amityville Karen, there's Amityville in the Hood, there's Amityville in Outer Space.
Mike is threatening to do
where
an
the-
all
Yeah.
Amityville podcast.
All Amityville.
people.
All Amityville podcasts.
I am-
No, I generally don't think many of them are all that great. In fact, I just recently went and watched Amityville 2 with the great Tony Roberts and a very young Meg Ryan is in the film, and it also is terrible. I mean, just
I like the original Amityville, and I like the Ryan Reynolds remake. But
yeah, I know.
there's
I know.
other reasons for that.
Yeah. But I do agree with your assessment, Ian, in that I think Amityville just gets by it's the most famous
Ghost
story
Yeah.
in American
Yeah, for sure.
history, and so it gets by on that alone.
The house, people recognize the
Yep.
house
Yep. Yeah.
because of the great poster.
Yep. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just man, for me it made me sleepy.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
but we're not here to badmouth our top 100.
No.
It's a
no.
classic.
Well,
I
little
think it
bit,
is
little bit.
right in the right spot.
Yeah.
All right. Number 66, our second John Carpenter movie. This one fell 39 spots, though.
Oh, whoa.
It was number 27
Prince
in
of Darkness?
2018. Think more cosmic.
At the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness,
yeah.
1994, starring, yet again, Sam Neill.
I was just gonna say
Neill.
Sam
It's
Neill.
the Sam
yeah.
Neill episode.
Yeah.
Good on you, Sam.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park showing up. We'll see.
I know, huh? No, not a horror.
Yeah. So it
It's
fell-
we're a bit-
Spoiler alert, Jurassic Park is not on the list.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Sam.
Okay.
So you're
how many spots did
possession.
it fall
Hey, you
in?
could have
might end up on the list.
possession.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
20. How many spots? 20.
It fell 39 spots.
39
It was
spots.
number 27. Now it's 66.
That is a big drop.
Mhm.
That is a big drop. Now, so this one I have watched within the last year, and I will say it is still really wonderful. There's still a couple just terrifying scares in
Sutter
it,
Kane.
but that
Yeah.
it definitely is. It's looking dated. It
Yeah.
is looking
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really dated.
It looks like a thing from the 90s.
Yep.
It does. But I think it also sort of links up sort of the Stephen King notion of how Stephen King often likes to write about writers, right? And then taking all those Lovecraftian. It's probably oddly it may be the as H.P. Lovecraft adaptation. It's not an adaptation, but it's an homage, strongly tied to Lovecraftian stuff.
Accessible.
Yeah, and I think that's what when people think of Lovecraftian horror, much to I think our friends Gwen and Brian, that they like the more the ones that have greater fealty to the Lovecraftian stories. But this has a lot of those themes.
Oh,
The-
for
the-
sure.
The literature and
for sure.
and the gates to another world and the
Madness.
decrepit the madness and the decrepit community and all that kind of stuff. It's got some great themes.
Well, speaking of great themes,
Oh, segue.
not this next movie.
Uh oh.
Number 65, maybe the grandfather of modern torture porn. This is
Oh.
Saw 2004.
Okay.
Oh, huh.
I think you have one
I
big
love
single
Saw.
overarching theme. I've got a lot of respect for Saw.
Yeah.
The first Saw. It is yes, it's torture porn, no
Mm-hmm.
doubt about it. But it's great puzzly stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
The
got
first Saw is great.
yeah,
Now, did it?
Danny Glover, right? In that
Yeah.
one?
yeah, and Carrie
And
Elwes,
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Lee Winnell, actually both writing and starring in it.
Yeah. Now, did
Yep.
the Saw did not make the list previously?
It did. Yep. It was number 76, so it's actually jumped up 11 spots.
Oh, it did. Okay. Okay.
And it's got the one of the
Well, there
one
you
of
That's probably because of Chris Rock.
yeah. Wait,
Not Spiral. Not
Yeah.
Spiral. To be clear,
this is
not
this
Spiral.
is straight up Saw.
I
Yeah.
know, but it's
So
on
now we
people's
now have two
minds.
James Wan films.
2 James Wan films.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think like one of the creepiest traps ever, and I don't want to be hard to top the reverse bear trap on the woman's head. You know,
Now, how
that's
many
like
Saw films have you seen, Eric? Be honest. How many?
4?
4.
Yeah.
Ian,
That's
4.
about, yeah.
Liz, how many have you seen?
How many Saws have I seen?
Yeah.
I haven't seen all of them. How many are there?
8.
Yeah, I think there's 8 of them.
Then I'd probably say like 5.
Okay, that's a good clip.
Yeah,
That's a good clip.
you know the I saw the first 2, and then
Yeah.
I've seen the 2 most recent ones.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once what's his name died in the thing, and then it was like his disciples, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's and there-
Spoiler alert: there's disciples.
yeah, and I did
Yeah.
did Spiral do well at the box office? Did it
I
it
don't
hold
It
think
did
up?
so.
okay.
Yeah, we'll see if because they put more budget to that one.
There's 8 Saws and then Spiral.
Yeah. Yep.
So 9 in total.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the one where they had all lined up in a bunch of in a bunch of hoods in a what was the one previous to Spiral? What do they call that one?
Jigsaw.
Yeah. So and I think this is Darren Lynn Bousman, who was my first director interview for Scariest Things. Great guy. Actually, very interesting insights, but he's made a career out of those Saw movies, those Saw
Yeah.
sequels.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for a while there was a new Saw every October, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Halloween.
Pretty
yeah.
close.
And
Yeah.
so the same with
Pretty
like
close.
there haven't been a whole lot of franchises in the last 20 years, but Saw and Paranormal Activities,
Right.
And because the thing is that
Well,
you need
Saw's
recurring
a
villains.
good idea.
Yeah,
And you
I
can
mean,
always come up with crazier and crazier
Yep.
tricks and traps.
Yes,
so.
you can riff on that. I think whereas opposed to you don't have to worry about it's like how is that guy not dead yet?
Final Destination. Saw. Insidious. Yeah. Paranormal. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, where are we at?
Number 64. Tied for the most recent film on this list,
Ooh, okay, so that's 2019.
2019.
Uh-oh.
Made Liz's list.
Uh-oh.
This is Saint Maud.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
Congratulations.
So that is the festival release date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It did not show in America for our viewing pleasure until 2021.
That's right.
That's my
Wow.
disclaimer again that this is all based
Yep.
on IMDb
No, I
data.
feel like that's
Yeah, oh,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Wow.
So, Liz, did you how
love
high
this
was it on
movie.
your list?
It was their number 7 film, wasn't it?
Okay. Okay.
7.
I think Robert had it high on his list too. I think that.
I
was-
definitely put it in my
Oh,
top 10
so
of that
good.
year
Yeah.
because we finally decided it was 2021, and
Now-
so I put it on my 2021
Yeah.
list.
I haven't seen it yet. So, Liz,
Yeah.
what made this good enough to
Woo.
make your top 25?
First of all, it's short. Second of all,
Yeah.
come on, it's 90 minutes. The actress, Morfred Clark, I believe her name is. I've slaughtered that. She's Welsh. Is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's super atmosphere. It's a religious themed movie, and it has a final 5 minutes that are off the charts bonkers and a final shot that is perfection. It is one of the best movies
Okay.
I've ever seen.
I still haven't
is
seen
so
it yet
good.
either. So
What?
maybe Ian and I are gonna have to just rent the
Oh my
movie. and
gosh.
I
check
think
it out.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
This is your new.
I think it's on Prime or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is.
Yeah.
Great film. Great, great,
It
great
is
So
film.
great.
so then that is so if it was tied for the most recent, this is the most recent. So okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's it.
So nothing nothing from 2019 to present will appear on this list.
That is correct, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, I gave it a 5-star review.
There you go.
St. Maud. All right.
It debuted at the festivals in 2019.
Yeah.
All the critical buzz. Then it was supposed to go to the theaters in 2020, but something happened in 2020. I don't know what,
Yeah.
and just stopped us from going to the theaters. So it came out in January 2021 on Epix.
That's
Knew that was
right.
a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm good with St. Maud at this spot. I think that's perfect.
St. Maud. I did not see that one coming. That's high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
64. Yeah.
There's a lot of love for it. A lot of love for it.
Yeah.
63 was number 61 in 2018.
We're close.
So
Okay.
almost in the same spot. It's a horror comedy from one Taika Waititi.
Oh.
This is What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
From
There you go.
2014.
Yeah.
I think that's probably fair.
Yes.
I think that's probably
that's a great spot for some horror comedy.
Who doesn't love What We Do in the Shadows?
And the
Now
TV
this
show,
was very high on your list previously, yeah?
yeah, and believe it or
Yeah.
not, it dropped off my list.
It did.
Ooh, wow.
Because I decided I made a concerted effort to go with straight horror rather than comedy. I'm trying to remember because Young Frankenstein also on my list dropped off. We'll see if Young Frankenstein was on the last list last time.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it this time.
Yep.
And I think I might have had Shaun of the Dead. So
Okay. So where are you at with the film versus the TV show? Which is better?
Oh God, it's like
Nope.
pick
Nope.
your kids.
Hard.
Oh, TV show for me, hands down.
Yeah,
I
Okay.
love the characters a lot more than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
TV show.
Matt-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
Matt
sunk
Berry
in.
is
I
pretty
think-
damn funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and was Kaylin Novak?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Colin
it's-
Robinson.
Yeah, it's so yeah.
Oh,
So
I
you're-
love Colin Robinson.
So you're saying TV show.
I think the TV show.
Liz, where are you
Yeah,
at?
I think it's funnier. It's the TV show.
TV show.
Well,
Okay.
granted, I thought What We Do in the Shadows was just a hoot. It was
Oh,
so.
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the
It
movie
is,
was
but-
great, but it's this the raw silliness and the,
Matt
because
Berry.
they're all going over the top. The all the characters,
Yeah, yeah.
all and
Yeah.
it's like everybody in the show is perfect for what they're doing.
Yep.
If we were doing our top 100 horror TV shows, yeah, I think What We Do in the Shadows would be quite high.
Yeah, the movie suffers
Oh, yeah,
from a
for sure.
distinct lack of Jackie Daytona, human bartender
Yeah.
serving drinks.
Everything needs a little bit more Matt Berry. In
Yes,
it
it
I
does.
think.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, somehow in 2018, our number 62 movie did not make the list. This one's brand new.
Conjuring?
It's a franchise staple from the 1980s.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Yeah,
How did it not make the list originally? Because it was on my list, and it was on my list last go round.
Got a lot of heavy thinkers on the list in the previous round, I think, as opposed to people who are it's like they like themselves.
Oh, come on. This is an absolute, we argued about this previously, but this is an absolute classic. This was genre defining. This defined not only just the 80s, but the 80s, 90s into the early 2000s. You cannot argue that at all. I do think, I will totally agree with you, though. I think Black Christmas is the first and best slasher film of all time, but I think Friday the 13th was absolutely genre defining.
100% iconic.
Yep.
100% agree with you that it is genre defining. I think it is when you think of 80s slasher movies, it's the first movie. I think people think of Friday the 13th before they think of Halloween.
Yep.
I think,
for sure.
And I think, and I, as a kid, I remembered how excited I was that it was coming out, and I realized there was no chance in hell I was going to get to see it. And so my friend Mike Fryer actually reenacted it for me when we were, because he had a chance to, he got someone to go out, and so he would do all the kill, and I was like, I was just totally enthralled, but on an acting, film quality, stage, a lot of the subjective kind of things. It's
got Kevin Bacon.
It's chicken. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But the fact is, it set the stage for everything that became '80s franchise horror.
Yeah.
It defined it, and they did one movie every year for
just
10
like Saw.
years.
Yeah.
And they got progressively worse
And
until
it's
Jason X.
It's fascinating that Friday the 13th Part 6 dropped off the list, but
No, yeah, you're right. Actually, Friday the 13th Part 6 is actually that takes a bump up, and then that is the strongest of the sequels.
Yeah, but it's amazing that it didn't make the list. Well,
We don't know.
We haven't seen
We
it
don't
yet,
know.
but that it came in so hot on the last list, but now we haven't seen it yet.
Right.
But this one wasn't even on the list.
That's the influence of having 40 more voters coming into this thing, and
for sure.
and people who their criteria isn't on quality of directing and acting, but it's about impact on the genre and what is it making. For a lot of people, it's like my criteria. How does it make you feel? What do you know? Do you know every beat? I actually Friday the 13th.
Also,
I
we
know
should
all the
pull
beats.
the
Yeah.
ages of our voters.
Yeah, there you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
And I think that there are some of our director contacts who also, I think, because there's Cunningham was, and there's an independent streak. Well, there's an independent streak also to Carpenter. But that was they did Friday the 13th for no money.
Right.
And they didn't need to.
Yep. I think
It's classic. I'm surprised it's not higher.
The other thing I think is interesting too is that, like, with Jaws, the da 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 da, and Psycho with the
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yep.
those are probably the three most iconic beats in all of horror, right there.
Yeah. And the Psycho
Yeah,
move.
yeah. And people who haven't even seen those movies, they know those beats.
Yeah. So
Right.
I mean, I was stunned, just floored that in the 2018 version of this thing that it didn't make the cut. It was just outside the top 100. It was 106.
Right.
But I was like, wow, it didn't. It told you what the kinds of what our voting pool at that time thought of, and
Right.
so it's. I think this is an appropriate location for Friday the 13th.
All right, there you go.
All right. Final film of the night.
Okay.
Number 61. A film that Eric Lee of The Scariest Things very appropriately and concisely once said was peak Godzilla. This is Godzilla.
Of course it is.
1954.
Yeah.
Ishiro Honda.
Oh, so you had it on your list?
No.
Really? Oh, interesting.
As big of a Godzilla fan, there are. I mean, I think there's. We have at least one member of the Kaiju cast. I think Gretchen voted.
Good.
So she's on it. We had a guy Ingo who is a fan of 50s. That was his number one. That was a legacy. But I think Jeff Dean might have had it in there. I'll have to double check on that. But there's the big guy. Godzilla when it was first done was not cute and cuddly. And
Right.
and until when you get dancing Godzilla punching Megalon, it's like, all right, it just got silly.
Right.
But that first one was a testament to radioactive horror.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It's like, and you can't say that it wasn't, and it's like hugely influential. So yeah,
Fell 13 spots. Was number 48 in
that
2018.
seems about right. Yeah. Okay, that was 80 to 61.
Yeah.
I'm getting one step closer to the mayor's seat.
Ah.
Ooh, Liz, are you tracking how many of
I have
shown up?
6 of my films
Let's see.
on
I'm gonna have to take a look.
so far.
This was a very Liz-heavy episode. A lot of her picks
Yep.
showed up
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see if I.
Starting with Candyman, finishing with
St. Maud.
St. Maud. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Like it feels like the 90s have shown up.
I
here.
had a
St.
lot more
Maud's the
last round.
exception, but
I think I may have come in the current mayor
Yeah.
probably was entering the night with the lead. But let's see. So what have I had? 'Cause, Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Mm-hmm.
You're-
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Creature from the Black
was
Lagoon.
on
The
your
Mist.
Paranormal Activity was on your list.
Mm,
Oh
this-
no, that was Mike's list. Mike.
Yeah.
that's on Mike's.
And Liz's list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Mike
got.
and I had session 9 in Paranormal Activity, and you're next.
Yeah, no, Liz is looking like she's the pace setter right now.
Although,
Because no, I got you're next, so I've got 4.
but who had
I have 6.
Friday the 13th? Who was the
Is that Mike?
That was Mike Campbell,
Yeah.
number 12.
Yep. So Mike, how many you got Friday the 13th and Creature from the Black Lagoon? Did you have Creature from the Black Lagoon on your list?
Yes.
And you had House of the Devil.
House of the Devil, yeah.
So you've got at least
Session 9 and
Session
Paranormal
9,
Activity.
yeah.
5.
Yeah.
I'm trailing.
Uh-oh.
I am not looking like the people. The people don't agree with me. Oh no, Mike.
I don't know that I agree with the people, frankly.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ian, thanks again for being our compiler and our sort of our Vanna
MC.
today.
Yeah.
So, but actually better than it's like you're part Don Pardo, part Vanna.
Would you like to buy a vowel?
No. I'm feeling. I'm
I'd
getting
like to buy
Pat
a
Sajak
U.
vibes. I'm getting Vanna vibes. I'm getting a little Don Pardo. I'm getting all of it, the whole thing.
Yep. No, it's been a treat, and so then we'll get back to you with episode 154, where we will do ratings for 60 to 41.